get to some Sunday showdowns. We already ran the animation, so we'll just talk about it now. We'll start with the Sunday night game, Green Bay against Buffalo. And I think you can start Aaron Jones, which I know seems a little bit weird considering the way the Packer offense has gone the last few weeks. For me, this is a case of the good old strategy of just getting the ball to your best players. And Aaron Jones is the best skill position player that the Packers have on offense. The Packers are a big-time underdog to Buffalo in this one, so I think part of their strategy has to be getting the ball to Jones as much as possible, but especially in the passing game. You see last week the career-high 9 catches against Washington. I think he has to be heavily involved for Green Bay to have a chance.
And I have most of the Packers as sits, not named Aaron Jones, so I'm going to go with a Bill here. And I think Gabriel Davis is a must-start option. He currently leads the NFL in yards per catch. He is third in air yards per target. And while the Packers defense hasn't been tested a whole bunch downfield, when they have been, they've struggled. They are currently 8th in the NFL in yards per attempt allowed on deep passes. We know Josh Allen will take those shots downfield to Gabe Davis. He always has such a high ceiling. I think he's in play every week.
So you're saying Diggs is garbage this week?
No, Diggs could be good.
All right, let me talk about Aaron Rodgers. Beware of him. Now, obviously, it has not played very well for him this season. As you see right there, the totals on the board are correct. He's had fewer than 17 fantasy points in every game this season. And I'm not here to dump on him, but I'm just here to talk about this practically. For the Green Bay Packers to defeat the Buffalo Bills, they have to run the football. Over the last number of weeks, they have absolutely ignored A.J. Dillon. You cannot win football games that way. They have to not only get Aaron Jones involved, they have to run the ball. If they don't, they're going to fall behind. And even if they're in a negative game script, Aaron Rodgers has shown that with this set of receivers, he is not getting it done. So I just don't like this all the way around, no matter what is going to happen for the Packers.
I have Aaron Rodgers as a straight-up sit this week. That's just how bad it has been. Question from Luca asking Romeo Doubs or Marquise Goodwin at the flex. I'm going to say you go with Marquise Goodwin this week.
Absolutely.
For a lot of the reasons that Rank talked about. A lot of the reasons that Rank talked about there with Aaron Rodgers in that passing game and the fact that Marquise Goodwin could get a lot of targets there for Seattle. Next game up is the Giants and the Seahawks. Speaking of Marquise Goodwin, the Seahawks team there. Florio, who you got here?
I'm going to go with a sleeper here in Wan'Dale Robinson. He has scored 11 fantasy points or more in his 2 healthy games this season. He led the Giants last week in targets and catches, and I think that can be a trend that continues because the Giants just continue to lose pass catchers. They're going to need someone to step up, and I think Wan'Dale Robinson will be that player. And I know you like him as well, Rank.
I like Wan'Dale Robinson, and I like Marquise Goodwin. Why didn't we just have me lead in off the tweet on that one? Like, that would have made sense if you would have read the tweet, and then I would have been like, oh, by the way, I have him as a sleeper this week. Because as you saw, DK Metcalf battling injuries. I don't expect DK Metcalf to play. That's the kind of gamesmanship that we should expect from Pete Carroll. Like, why would you rule your guy out on Friday? I never understood that. Why give the other team an advantage of being like, no, he's not playing? Game plan around that. Like, no, you keep them guessing. I expect Tyler Lockett to be out there, but I think Goodwin can be a very valuable asset for this team. Geno Smith obviously likes him, as what we saw last week against the LA Chargers. So again, like our friend Luca, if you need to go find a wide receiver, I would pick up Goodwin over players like Romeo Doubs.
I do think that Tyler Lockett is going to be out there, but I also think you should be wary of starting him this week just because I'm with Rank. I don't think we're going to see DK Metcalf, which means I expect the Giants are going to be paying extra attention to Lockett defensively this week. I think that does open some things up for Marquise Goodwin. And the Giants have been pretty tough, giving you the 3rd fewest fantasy points per game to wide receivers. So I understand if you're starting Tyler Lockett, but I don't think it's a very good outlook for him this week. Another question that you guys sent to us at NFL Fantasy on Twitter. Eddie wants to know who to start, Geno Smith or Daniel Jones, Florio?
This one is very close, but I'll go with Daniel Jones just because of what he has been giving fantasy managers with his legs. Last week had 100 rushing yards and a touchdown. He's been getting over 35 yards pretty much every week, plus just a little bit of a better matchup on that side of the ball.
We got a showdown in the Keystone State between the Steelers and Eagles. Rank, what are we doing?
The Steagles of the 40s. You know what? I'm going to say beware of every Steelers wide receiver. The Philadelphia Eagles have a pair of shutdown corners that have absolutely been blanketing everybody this season. They've allowed just 2 receiving touchdowns this season. That's the 2nd fewest in the NFL, the 3rd fewest receiving yards to wideouts this year. So if you're looking for somebody from this passing attack, Maybe Najee Harris can get it going as a receiver this week. Pat Freiermuth would be an option. But even George Pickens, who has been the apple of Kenny Pickett's eye, I would avoid him if possible. But yeah, all these Steelers receivers I don't feel great about starting them.
I will take that a step further in saying that you must start the Eagles defense, because all those things about how good they are against the pass are absolutely true. But overall, they've given up just 7 touchdowns in their first 6 games. They've allowed the 3rd fewest points in the NFL. And Pittsburgh, they have not been able to move the football consistently. They're ranked 29th in scoring. They've given the ball away 12 times this season, 9 times in the last 4 games. The Eagles feel like an absolute must start for anybody in fantasy.
Yeah, I was aggressive to get them with my fab this week because I think I can ride out the rest of the season with them. I also think you could start Devonta Smith in this matchup against the Steelers. Smith has been the wide receiver 9 since week 2, and he's topped 15 fantasy points in 4 of his last 5 games. He's also the best deep threat on Philly, so could get a couple of chunk plays. Plus, the Steelers have allowed the 2nd most fantasy points and the most yards to wide receivers this season. So just a bunch of reasons to get Smith in your starting lineup.
Cardinals and Vikings. And when it comes to sleepers, I think you hashtag let Irv swerve. Irv Smith Jr.'s maybe not been the sleeper all season long that I thought he could be, but the route participation has been generally pretty consistent, right around 50% or more, and has maintained a consistent target share each and every week. Plus, there's one thing that we know about fantasy football. It just seems that you can always target the Arizona Cardinals with tight ends. They give up the most catches to the position this season, also allow the 2nd most fantasy points per game.
Love Irv Smith as a streamer this week. I also like his quarterback in Kirk Cousins against the team that has allowed the 6th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. Just last week, Andy Dalton torched them for 4 touchdowns and a whole bunch of yards. And if the Cardinals can put up more points on offense, that just means more throwing for Kirk Cousins. He's been very steady, and for those who buy into the home road splits, he's been much better at home as well. So, Rank, can I get a skull here?
I have a guarantee about Kirk Cousins that I will be revealing actually on this show. That's right.
Oh.
I usually save the good stuff for Total Access. Well, Total Access.
Thanks.
Well, Total Access puts me on camera to allow me to do this. I could just say anything right now. I could just repeat the word watermelon over and over again, and nobody would care because they're just showing the KJ Osborne video. But I do believe that he's a great sleeper this week. As you see right there, over 9 fantasy points and 2 out of his last 4 games. Hey, thank you so much. Here's the thing. I love the Vikings offense. I think that KOC has done a tremendous job with everything that's going on. And Justin Jefferson, fantastic. But I think KJ Osborne is on the cusp of really stepping up. So I think that if you have an opportunity to go out and add him, again, if you're looking for some wide receiver help with some of the injuries, of course, some of the big name guys from the Chargers and the Chiefs aren't playing this week. KJ Osborne is somebody who should be considered as one of the top waiver wire. Don't do it.
On Sunday showdowns, we got the 49ers and the Rams. And Mike Florio, what are you doing?
I'm starting the 49ers defense here. First, they're just getting healthy as a unit, and when they're healthy, they're one of the best defenses in the league. They have the 2nd most sacks in the league this year, and they scored 21 fantasy points a couple of weeks ago when they played the Rams. Plus, the Rams have allowed by far the most fantasy points to opposing defenses, so definitely start the Niners.
That's a pretty nice one. I am going to go with Brandon Ayuk, though, as a sleeper. I had him as a beware as we were kind of sorting through Debo's injury, but now that he's completely ruled out, I think that we can feel a little bit more comfortable with Brandon Ayuk. Not enough that he's a must-start or anything like that, but it does kind of trickle down a little bit. I still anticipate this being more of a Christian McCaffrey game. We're going to probably see some more George Kittle this week. Kyle Juszczyk, you know what, our buddy right there, also out with a finger injury like this. I think Brandon Ayuk could maybe sleeper might not be strong enough. I would kind of move him up the ranks. I think we were talking about Goodwin. Well, hold on. We were talking about Goodwin a moment ago. I think I would start him over Goodwin.
I would start him over Goodwin.
I think so.
I would start him over Goodwin. Juwan Jennings don't make me sleeping potential. I do think you're starting Tyler Higbee because he is one of 2 usable pieces that the Rams have had in fantasy all season long. 22% of the targets. He's running routes on about 3/4 of Matthew Stafford's dropbacks. And when these 2 teams met back in week 4, Higbee was targeted 14 times, caught 10 passes for 73 yards. I still believe he's going to be a big part of what the Rams do offensively. Bears at the Cowboys. Adam Rank, I guess you told us who you're starting at running back.
Yeah, we'll go back to that Tony Pollard thing. An absolute must-start with Zeke ruled out. I think, again, as we were looking at the DFS slate, I anticipate most of those lineups having Tony Pollard Derrick Henry. It just makes too much sense. And if there is one weakness to this Bears defense, it's on the ground. This is where you need to exploit them. The Bears defense this season in the second half have allowed a passer rating of just over 50. So as long as Kellen Moore can resist the temptation to throw the football and just do what he did last week and be content to run it, Tony Pollard should have a great game.
I love that call. I don't think you're going to like mine nearly as much. I'm saying beware of David Montgomery. Him and Khalil Herbert right now are splitting carries. Khalil Herbert has been the back getting the targets the last couple of weeks, and now Justin Fields is getting more design runs, which takes some production away. He had the red zone touchdown just this past week. All of that lowers David Montgomery's floor, and I don't love his chances of salvaging his day because of a touchdown, because on the year, the Cowboys have allowed the second fewest fantasy points to running backs and just 2 touchdowns.
Well, I'm not going to tell you to sit CeeDee Lamb. That would just be malpractice. But I do tell you that you should beware of him. And a lot of the things that Rank said about Tony Pollard sort of impact CeeDee Lamb. If the Cowboys are content to run the football to try and exploit that part of the Bears defense, it means they're not going to be throwing it nearly as much, which means not as many targets are available for CeeDee Lamb. Throw in the fact that the Bears have been very good against opposing pass offenses, and this is one where you are sort of hoping that potential volume rules the day, but I'm just not sure there's going to be enough of it to make it a very productive fantasy afternoon. Dolphins at the Lions. Florio, what's up?
You're starting Tua Tagovailoa this week. He was back last week. I know he had to shake off some of the rust, but he still has the most explosive playmakers in the NFL around him, and it's more so about trusting Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle than it is just Tua. But Tua himself leads the NFL in yards per attempt right now, so the deep play is always a factor, and it's against the Lions. I mean, they've allowed the 4th most fantasy points and passing yards to quarterbacks, and we know you can put up points on that defense.
Earlier in the show, we had the news that Amon-Ra St. Brown was trending in the right direction, so I say he is a start this week. One, because, and I just want to say this, I'm glad we have put the argument about whether Amon-Ra St. Brown is good or not to bed, right? Everything he's done so far this season, that argument is now kaput. But on top of it, the Dolphins really have been vulnerable against wide receivers. This was a defense that a couple years ago we were sort of avoiding where we could. This year, I think you can take advantage of them, and I do think that Jared Goff and ARSB are going to connect a few times.
I would say he's a must-start. Raheem Mostert is a must-start. He is one of the better big play running backs in the NFL right now. He just has been crushing it with those rushes of over 10 yards. He is 4th in the league in that category over the last couple of weeks. And if there is one thing the Lions are known for, it's giving up big plays on the ground. They cannot stop anybody running the football. So I think this is a huge opportunity. Again, we've said this for a long time. Like, as much as everybody loved Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert has been the most underrated part of this offense, and he's going to eat this week.
Absolutely love Raheem Mostert this week. Another tweet. This one from future Philly Shohei Ohtani.
Stop it.
This one's for you, Rank. I feel like they're needling you in the control room.
I'm not answering.
Need a flex between Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard, or Raheem Mostert. 2 of the 3 I know you very much love this week.
Yeah, start Stevenson. Yeah, that works out.
Why are you punishing that person? But
did you not see?
I realized as soon as I said that, I realized why that was.
We all know he's a future Met.
We're gonna take a break so Rank
they said the same thing about
recompose himself. Broncos and the Jaguars live from London. Rank, give us a sleeper.
I think JaMychal Hasty has to be considered a sleeper, with James Robinson now a member of the New York Jets. Of course, Hasty has stolen a touchdown or 2. I know he's stolen at least 1. Just from doing that helps no one. He's done that, and this is the one. I guess this is the touchdown right here. So I think he does have ability. This might be why the Jags were so comfortable trading away James Robinson. So JaMychal Hasty, again, should be a roster filler, especially as a handcuff to Travis Etienne.
I got a sleeper running back on the other side, and it's Latavius Murray. And despite having 3 running backs that had been healthy, Mike Boone not healthy now, but even when they had the 3 guys healthy, they were pretty much only using 2 guys at a time. So now with just Latavius Murray and Melvin Gordon there, I think Murray's going to get a solid number of snaps. I would expect around 15 or so touches. And the Jags, during their current 4-game losing streak, they've allowed 5 different players to score double-digit fantasy points just through their rushing ability alone. So I think Latavius Murray could have a good week. Raiders and the Saints. Florio, what you got here?
I'm going to start Derek Carr where I have him. Josh Jacobs has been stealing all of the fantasy production as of late, but this is a week where Derek Carr could get in on the fun as well. The Saints have been good against the run this year, but they have struggled against the pass, especially as of late. They've allowed the 4th most fantasy points to quarterbacks in the last month, 2nd most in the last 2 weeks. So if it's a game where Carr's to throw more, we could get his best game of the year.
I'm going to have a must start as Olave. Oh, wait. Whoa. Chris Olave. Whoa. We're turning into Chris Berman now. I love, oh my gosh, Olave. I don't know why. I get so many questions about Chris Olave. People are like, should I start him? I'm like, I don't know. Do you like winning fantasy matches? This guy is very impressive. And now he's got a matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, who have been extremely generous. Like those Vegas casinos that used to give you the $5.95 steak and eggs deal after you went and blew a bunch of money on the craps table.
I mean, that's the least
like
they
that.
Could do.
The way it used to be.
That's really the least they could do.
At least the Raiders are still generous to opposing defenses.
Really the least they could do. Let's move on to an AFC East rivalry game, the Pats and the Jets. I feel like you got to sit Jacoby Myers down this week. For what it's worth, he's slightly better with Bailey Zappi than Mac Jones. I say slightly because it hasn't been significant. But the bigger concern for me is that Jets secondary. We talk about how good Sauce Gardner has been all season long, but let's not overlook DJ Reed. He's also had a pretty good season for New York. The Jets giving up the 8th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers this season, so not all that big on Jacoby Myers.
I think on the other side, though, you should be starting Michael Carter. I'm anticipating that he will be the lead runner this week as James Robinson was just acquired earlier in the week. I think he'll also be the back used in the passing game for the Jets, and he's just more explosive than Robinson. He topped double-digit fantasy points in both of his games against the Patriots last year. And like Rank said earlier, we just saw the Patriots struggle against running backs last week against the Bears.
Now, they struggled against running backs last week because Justin Fields was running the ball so well. Zach Wilson is not Justin Fields.
No, he's not.
I will make a note of that. Deep sleeper for you. It is Nico Collins. He is second on the Houston Texans when it comes to target share. And he's got a pretty good matchup against the Titans secondary that has been vulnerable all season long. You see right there, giving up the 3rd most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. If you're playing in a deep league, Nico Collins should be on your radar. Over to the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. It's for first place in the NFC South. Rank, what's up?
I'm going to go with Marcus Mariota as a sleeper in this contest. As you see right there, he's been a top 9 fantasy quarterback 2 of his last 3 weeks. Last week was his bad week. He got that out of the way. He got the one where he burned everybody out of the way already. So this is a perfect time to get him back into your lineup.
And lastly, we got the Commanders and the Colts. What do you see here, Florio?
I know there's a lot up in the air with the Colts right now, but I still think you start Michael Pittman Jr. I'm banking on the talent and the usage that he has been getting this season, and then it's just a great matchup. The Commanders have allowed the 2nd most red zone targets and the 2nd most passing touchdowns this season, so I still think Pittman Jr. is in play.
We got about 45 seconds left, Frank. Anything you want to get off your chest here?
No, we're good. I had an opportunity. We cut down we cut off the guarantees. I was just I'll save the joke for next week about the pralines and cream, whatever. It's gonna be a doozy. But I do have a thing to say about Malik Willis, and here's what I'm gonna say. Make sure you're watching Total Access next, because in the waiver wire hot sauce, we're gonna be talking about Malik Willis. You're not gonna want to miss it. I've got some gold.
For the sake of my 2 QB league, I'm going to be watching because I want to hear what you have to say about Malik Willis. In the meantime, that'll do it for this edition of NFL Fantasy Live. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Be sure to check out Total Access because he's going to be there. Plus, they're going to have a whole lot of
I won't be wearing this coat.
Really great stuff to talk about.
Listen,
enjoy Week 8, everybody.
Gotta keep something.
Have a good, safe weekend, too, if you're out doing the Halloween
Can't take
party
all the
thing.
good stuff.
We will talk to you on Monday. See you.